Hi. It's
Hello.
really loud.
It's too loud?
Yeah. I think that's good, right?
I think it's good too.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Welcome.
Hi. Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
So
We're here on this sunny Saturday. Inside.
inside, sadly.
But for a good reason.
Exactly.
I'm sitting here with you because Spamantha, our guest of honor, she was way too busy to join us.
Yeah, she's doing like this tour, like, you know,
Always
working
on the run,
Yeah,
right?
always on the run.
Because I often try to get in touch with her, but...
It's impossible, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm her manager, so
Right,
yeah.
right. But it's really nice that I can sit here with you to like learn about who Spamantha is, what she does, why she does what she does. But maybe as Spamantha isn't really accessible, it's maybe nice to hear who are you and what do you do and why
Yes.
do you do it.
So I'm Maja Simisic, and I study fashion design at the Willem de Koning Academy. But I don't really make clothes in that sense, so my fields of interest are quite wide. And in my latest project, I'm graduating, and this was like my minor project, so that's like before the graduation. I was working on music and sound and noise, and like it was such a new world for me. So yeah.
How does this project? Or wait, maybe I should.
Maybe you should introduce
Right.
yourself as well. Mystery.
Okay, so I'm Sarah Klevan. I was invited here because of Spamantha's manager. I studied art history. Specialized in contemporary art, and did a full-on research on post-internet art. Namely mainly the part where identity construction is present, like in the online world, and how our online surroundings influence this process of identity construction. And I did that by researching the work of Cindy Sherman, so it's mainly, in her case, about womanhood and how our identities as women are constructed, also by online surroundings, but also offline surroundings. So this is kind of where our paths may cross.
Yeah, definitely.
As we found out. But your point of entry, like your point of departure, is a music genre.
Yes, so basically I'm here today to talk about Spamantha Bones, and so to say the music genre she created, which is called HouseWifeHouse and alternative turbo folk. So yes, well.
But can you explain a bit about what is turbo folk? Because I've never heard of it. I talked about it with some of my friends to ask around. Have you heard about it? Nobody's heard about it. So can you explain?
Yes.
Like how did you come to know about it?
Well, well, I know about it because so I'm from Serbia, and Serbia is on the Balkans. And it's southeastern Europe, and so I lived a long time in Serbia, and also lived part-time, one part of my life, let's say, in Germany. And during my upbringing, just the media, you know, there's always turbo folk. Like it's the normal, like there's basically nothing. I mean, there is, of course, I'm gonna come to that like later, but the very mainstream and the most accessible
It's like pop culture.
Yes, exactly. So what is turbo folk? What is turbo folk? What is it? Well, it's basically a mix between like folk, folk, and that's mainly folk in the sense of like Middle Eastern, Turkish, Greek influences.
Like traditional
Yes,
music.
exactly. A lot of like beaty and like dancey. And then like mixed with something more like contemporary. So it could be rock, it could be pop, it could be rap, it could be like whatever, literally whatever. And yeah, like so just to explain a little bit like why the influence from the Middle East, like it's not random. Serbia was well, I can't say colonized, but like occupied by the Ottoman Empire, which is Turkey and like bigger part. So the Ottoman Empire for like 200-300 years. So we have this huge influence of back then, even in like language and in dishes and food, in everything, right? So also in music, and it especially like came to be popular because before it wasn't like, it was always there, the folkish, but it was never that popular. It became popular, and that's the point where I get interested in it. Like
And do you also mean, when you say popular, maybe amongst the youth?
Amongst basically everybody.
Yeah.
Like basically everybody. So it started around like 80s because like so just a little history, the basics we need to, it's all connected. So Serbia was a part of Yugoslavia, and Yugoslavia used to be a country with Bosnia, Montenegro, Macedonia, Slovenia. I think that's
Croatia
it actually.
Also?
Yeah, Croatia. Sorry, my sisters and brothers from Croatia. Almost forgot about them. But yeah, so it was one country. It was all like peace, love, unity. Like, I mean, it was communist country, but independent communist country, which means it was not like anything. It was not really connected to Russia or something. So they were independent, like Cuba, for example.
Yeah.
So the like turbo folk was basically like, maybe back then, maybe it was like listened in the villages, like with very simple folks, as they would call it. But it was definitely not, it was not a thing. And then end of 80s, right? So Yugoslavia fell apart around, in the like, so Tito, who was the main guy in Yugoslavia, Tito, he died in 1980, and so after that, like, it slowly all fell apart. All countries kind of like, Slovenia was the first one to back up, and then others backed up, and now like we are all separated countries. But it was not just, let's just break up, whatever, right? It was war, like it was it was a really bad civil war. And like it turned into like killing each other, like, but nobody really like, it was a lot of like was religion based, because you had like Muslims, Catholics and Orthodox living in one country, so to say, and then all of a sudden you had to like choose who you are, and like and then like neighbors would start hating each other or like killing each other. It was just a mess, like a mess. And I'm really interested in that topic, and I read a lot about it, also Kosovo and like stuff like that. And you don't really I mean, it's such a big part of our history, but we don't really learn it at school.
Is that because it's a like emotional topic, or like tough?
I think also because that was in the 90s, and it's still, I think, fresh. and it's also very political. So, and what you learn at school is influenced by what the politics and what
it's a reflection of politics.
Exactly. So the Ministry of Education is gonna say, oh yeah, now the president and the whole, they don't want this. They're more like right, or they're more left, or they're more whatever, and that's how they are. That's what you're gonna learn. Bullshit. I mean, but yeah. And so yeah, then everything fell down. It was terrible times. People were like, fucked. And that's where Turbo Folk became famous. And also there is this one sentence. It's they say Turbo Folk is the soundtrack to the Yugoslav wars, because like it was, why they were at the battlefield, they would listen to Turbo Folk.
Really?
Yes, like
Wow.
it was a thing. It was something to encourage them. Like it was very, it still is, but like it was very much nationalistic.
Because of this folk aspect of
Yes,
of
and
the turbo.
yeah, and of course, like it is the music, so it's the sound, but it's also lyrics. So the lyrics were like, about nationality, nationalism, gender, sexuality, class. But also it's kind of like it's valorizing patriarchal values, materialism, gangster lifestyle, and war crimes, but more like glorifying it, like, oh, I'm a gangster, or like, oh, my husband's a gangster.
So in a way, really political, like the first.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely very political. And there's this one research paper it got really stuck. It's called, let me just check, The Paradox of Tzetsa and the Turbo Folk Audience. And so I'm gonna say Tzetsa because so what happened is that a lot of females became superstars, right? The Turbo Folk superstars.
Was it mainly females that were the
Yes,
stars of the turbo?
yes,
folk?
mainly because sex sells, right? So yeah, it was very it was like this super hyper feminist
And are we still talking 90s now?
yeah,
Or-
yeah. This is all 90s,
Yeah.
so that's when also Turbo Folk became a lifestyle, it was, the gangster culture, and when we talk about gangster, some people are like, oh my god, gangsters, yes. I'm also cool, but not, in that situation, it's proper war crimes, it's killings, it's not cool, but then, you have this. So I think Tzetsa is the one that could really when you see her, you could really describe her as the perfect figure of what is Turbo Folk as a lifestyle.
And she's one of the females, one of the leading females in turbo
Yes,
folk.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely. So she's this country girl from the countryside. Her parents sold a field of corn to send her to Belgrade, the big city, for her to do music.
So
record.
she has this origin, or
Yes.
the roots of the folk. Really.
Exactly.
So it's really accessible to a lot
Exactly.
of people that are listening to. the
Yes,
turbo
so
folk.
they can kind of connect to her. Oh
Yeah.
she's like us. She was also nobody, and now she is somebody. And then also she married. So when she became quite famous, and then she married this warlord, Arkan, and they were this. The couple. Everybody's like, oh my god, we want to be like them. She was super hot.
Pop stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And he was a warlord. What the hell, what? And this guy is famous and popping, and everybody wants to be a warlord, all this, they had this huge wedding in the 90s, and it was super over the top, and then you have this like pictures like where he's holding like where he's in his uniform, so so he had an army, a private army that was just basically going around villages, like they didn't care who you are, they were just plundering, but like it was all for Serbia, I mean, bullshit. And like, so like it's over the top, like it's so over the top, right? And they had this perfect children, and then then it gets wild, like wild, like everything was good. He then at some point, something 2000 something, he got shot by probably another mafia, who knows, right? He got shot, then oh my god, she is the widow, she is sad, she's never gonna look another man again, that was her love, she's now the mother, she's now the stone, like for her children.
It sounds very much like a soap opera.
girl, it is.
But it's also so political.
Yes,
at the same time.
Definitely, yeah. And it's all like with the media, like it was kind of brainwashing. No, it is brainwashing. That you have just this influence that then also the visuals that girls have to look like this, and there's no alternative, like, and also then you have the pressure of like boys not liking you because you don't look like this, because if you want to be successful, if you want to be like living Teta's life, luxurious, being successful, being this that, then you have to be like this, right? Then you have to have big nails, like
it's all the ingredients
exactly,
for
you have to
glamorous life,
makeup, like Botox, not I'm not long hair, extensions, I could go, yes, exactly.
Right.
So actually I would like to show an example.
I'm really curious now, because this was one dramatic story.
Yes.
So I'm really curious to hear what's this about. And,
so I'm gonna put a song on, but it's not from Ceca, it's from Dragana Mirković. And she's also one of the like, I think she even started before Ceca, and it's the same story. Country girl, her parents. Actually, it's quite funny now. She has this huge castle in Austria. I mean, God.
She's still living the life.
But I think she's, for example, now more popular with the diaspora. So like people, who don't live in the Balkans anymore, but like in Germany, and that's why I also think she moved to Austria, cause like. She
wasn't necessarily bound to the
exactly,
the
like there's a huge audience in diaspora, but we can talk about that later as well.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. And we're back.
Whoa. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, did you like it? What do you think of it?
This was a party. Oh my god, yeah. I love it because to me also it has some, like, that Balkan sound to me also has like some nostalgia in it because I have a father that was born in Uzbekistan.
So cool.
So like this really makes me think of all the Russian weddings that I went to where everybody's drinking vodka, and like I really like remember my dad's dance move, you know, this one like
That's the dad move.
yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but you know, yeah, it's really the dad move. So to me it's really a nostalgic sound and really like a party sound, you know.
Yeah.
Like if I ever have a wedding, Turbo Folk is it for me. Yeah.
Okay, but if you're talking about weddings, for me personally, trumpet players, like that's next level. Honestly, that's next level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you say, you really like it, but like for me, like sitting here now, I'm also like, you know, I'm kind of even. Oh my god, I don't know if I dare to say this, but I'm even kind of proud of it in a weird sense.
Yeah.
You know, but then at the same time, it's so wrong. Like, I mean, you know, like it just. As I said before, you know, it represents all the things that I'm against, basically.
Yeah, because how did you experience this type of music as a pop, you know, culture, you know, the mainstream music when you grew up? Probably. How did you experience it back then?
Yeah. Well, for me, you know, I was always a bit weird, let's say.
Because when were you born? Like when were
97.
you young? Okay.
97.
Yeah. So you grew up in that time. Like,
so it was more like,
2000s.
exactly. 2000s was like and like, for me it was like, of course I didn't really know in the beginning. When you're like 7 or 8, you have no clue what's happening, but you still
what is happening here?
Yeah, but like at the same time, that was like also a very booming period, the beginning of 2000s for because it was so like war like ended kind of 99 when we got bombed by NATO. And then, you know, 2000s was kind of like this weird period where it's like, you know, I mean, it was just weird, you know, economically was really weird, like politically it was really weird. And for me, like, you know, all these like women especially, I mean the superstars, the turbo folk superstars, they're all like talking, you know, about also in the, if you would look at their videos, at their music videos, sometimes you would kind of get this image that, or that they're like, oh, power women, you know, they're like have everything under control, as I was talking about it. So they're the rock, you know, or they're the perfect woman, right? They have the soft side, they have the strong side, like, you know, like hips to give birth, they have you know, everything to please a man, you know. But then at the same time, you know, in, for example, Lepa Brena, another star, she, for example, has a lot of videos where you can like have this a bit more like dominatrix type of, I mean, not in like a really visual way, but more like, for example, there's one video where she's Cleopatra and all these men are like her slaves or something like that.
All right, yeah.
And then you would think, oh yes, you know, like power women, feminism, but bullshit, you know, like it, you know, it's just like a facade or something.
The bullshit part is probably not what you thought or said as a 10-year-old.
No, definitely not, because you know, they kind of like trick you into that, but they also trick you, you know, because they're like, oh yeah, I'm a power woman, I make my own choices, but you don't, you know, you still like have long nails because you want to impress someone, you have fake eyelash, you know, you're like, you're still in the machine, you know, but whatever, you know, they say that like they're totally under control, or like they're this, that, but it's like it's not really the case, right?
Well, at least also not for the women that are looking up to them or trying to imitate them.
Exactly.
Or trying to become a woman like that.
Yeah.
But so all the girls around you and all the people around you, they idolize these people?
Yeah, so there was a situation, I remember we were living in Berlin back in the days, and I think I was 9, and so my dad is from Bosnia, and it's a funny situation. So he is like his taste is questionable. Okay, let's just say it like that. I'm not gonna go deep into it, but his taste is questionable. So he really liked turbo folk, right? But my mom, she's a teacher, and she's quite Western orientated, and like she's quite intellectual,
right.
And like she was like, hell no, and then it was always this clash between my dad and my mom, also about the influence on me, because you had the dad who would like give me CDs of an artist I will show you in a second. And like I was like, oh my god, Goga Sekulic, oh my god, like that was so toxic, like super toxic, like for a 9-year-old to already see this kind of image, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you had my mom who was like, and my uncle who were buying me like Red Hot Chili Peppers, for example. I remember that was like one of my first alternative CDs, and that's how I got out of the hole,
out of the vortex
of turbo folk, and like, so yeah, like it's difficult. And also I think it's a way of brainwashing, exactly because of that. Imagine my mom or my uncle, they didn't, they were not giving me anything else, but they were pushing it, they were just whatever, and they were, my whole growing up as a young woman and a young girl would be totally different,
right? Yeah.
And my thoughts would be different as well. So with no further ado, I'll put the Goga Sekulic on. So this is a more like 2004.
Okay, so and do we hear a certain development in this, or?
Good question. Well,
the last song you played was from the 90s?
Yes, that was from the 90s. That one was like quite, like you could like maybe synthesize, it's still like with the times, and now I think it's also more pop, more pop, because pop also got more kind of popular 2000s, and also maybe more like electro, like more into that way, but it's still very turbo folk.
Okay, I'm curious.
Bio, da li ona zna? Ne zna, ona znam samo ja. Devojka za jedno veče misli briga me, al kod tebe su još uvek moje gaćice. Tamanten, od onih sam što padaju na to. moje gačice.
Whoa.
And we're back.
That was an intense one. You really seem to love it here in the studio. People, I'm really sad people can't see us like partying here.
Yeah, we really
It's
are
a good
partying.
good party. Oi, you liked it?
Girl. It's my jam.
It really, well, speaking of jams, it really, like, the first thing that came to mind when I heard this sound is that it really made me think of Summer Jam. That's song?
Yeah, I like
which
that
is
song
super
as well.
like 2000s.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
So
So it fits.
I see the 2000s reference, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what is she singing about? Like what the lyrics?
So okay, Gachice, this is the name of the song and it means panties.
Okay.
So it's basically this. I'm sorry, this is so funny, but like it's basically the story like how she, like I don't know, she found the panties of some other woman in her man's bed, something like that. So it's always like drama and it's always toxic, you know, like, and like there's also this other song from the same artist called Sexy Businessman.
Right.
And like you should look at the video, guys. Oh my god, like it's amazing. And
and but are these lyrics, what are the like general subjects in, is there like a red...
so for example in the Sexy Businessman, like so she's talking, you know, how like you're my sexy businessman, and you know, like that's, you know, that's also connected to the lifestyle that I was talking about Setsa, you know, they all want this male who can provide, you know, like and like you're there and you're pretty and like
alpha male and the female that stands
exactly that stands there just being
Yeah.
pretty, you know, kind of trophy wife vibes. So that's basically all the songs are basically about that.
Okay, intense. That like young girls and guys also get to experience this, like as popular culture.
I mean it's toxic for the male as well, because then, you know, like it's like this image, you have to be tough, you know, you have to be dangerous, you know, you have to have a lot of money to, you know, girls to like you, and it's not about like the inner, you know, what's inside and like what's in your soul and your mind. It's more like the material, and like also, you know, not showing emotions, like, you know, guys not crying, you cannot cry, you have to be strong. It's
which of course this is these are like stigmas that prevail in almost all popular media all over the world, but this is like a super clear like they're not shy about it, you know, at all. And it makes me think a lot about some like in the 10s and the 20s. There were a lot of sociologists or psychologists, also philosophers that theorized the construction of identity, and this image that you describe here is like quite an unrealistic thing. I mean, for me as a young woman now, I'm 25 years old, you start noticing that some things just aren't realistic, especially also social media, like even Photoshop gets in the way of this, you know. And there were some theorists that described how we manage our impressions, because this behavior setting, it's called a behavior setting, so what we see everywhere around us, so popular culture in the form of music, or these days also on social media, they create certain, like they have certain norms and certain standards that we like to live up to. They're like goals, because we idolize these people. They seem to have everything, but they're not realistic goals. They're not real life, you know. And we try to reach those goals through impression management. Like we try to make a selection of things that we show other people. We try to really construct our identity towards those goals, you know. And it's really that like does damage to kids, I think,
Definitely.
for like to have unrealistic goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's quite unrealistic. And yeah, like coming back to also the theory, the research paper I read, it was also, you know, because they actually interviewed in Croatia and Slovenia, they interviewed young young people, actually university students to be very precise, which you would think, yeah, they learn, they like listen to more alternative stuff or something, but like a lot of them actually turned out listen to turbo folk. And like, why? It was like, yeah, my life is miserable and this gives me hope, and that's basically,
wow.
yeah.
So it like keeps itself, you know, I don't know how to say it in English.
How would you say it in Dutch?
Like it houdt zichzelf in stand. Like it feeds itself that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So like, exactly, you have this lifestyle that is not possible, but you can, you know, like dreams and hopes, they're free. So what can you do? Just listen to the music and dream and hope, right? And have a poster in your bedroom and like, you know, create this fantasy world that you know.
And how, like, why is it that because you lived in Berlin also for a big part of your youth that you see it like this? Because or also probably because the influence of your mom and your uncle, who also influenced you with other types of music and other types of culture. Is that the reason that you see it? You can look at turbo folk like that.
I mean,
really, like you can.
Yeah.
You stand out, like stand outside of the situation.
I mean, to be quite honest, like I hated turbo folk so much when I was in high school in Serbia, because everybody, you know, was listening to it, dressing like that, etc., that like I ignored it. And then when I came here, I could step back and I got interested in it. So
because it's also part of your youth,
exactly,
and a big part of all the people around you.
Yeah, and especially a big part of politics as well. Like, and this whole culture that happened because of the wars, and like this it's a mess, and I'm just like, whoa, you know, what is it? I want to understand, I want to know. And that's how I actually got like into turbo folk. But also because in my work in general, I really like to take something that I hate and turn it into something that I like. So that was something, I actually hate it, so I might as well just twitch it to my own desires.
And what made you like it now then? Like, in what can you explain why you like it, or what do you like about it? Is it the complexity of it?
I mean, I can't say I like it. Like, I like the work I did, and so in that way to make it that I like
the phenomenon, or like
yeah. So to create something that gives me like a different view on it, and definitely like analyzing it, really helped, you know, to just understand, because it's like, why is it so popular, you know? And like also reading the research paper and being like reading all the answers from also the interviewees and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't do the interviews obviously, but like reading all the details, I was like, yo, this makes so much sense. Like, you know,
things fall into place also a bit more.
Exactly. And I mean, do I like it now? It's like the secret pleasure, you know. Like, I would never listen to it in Serbia, never ever. Like,
but it's almost like a camp for you.
Like here.
When you're here.
When I'm here, it's like my little, you know.
Yeah, because you started by saying you're also kind of proud of it.
Yeah, weirdly.
Very weirdly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I actually think it's I actually like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there's this nostalgic feeling for me in it, which I really like. But also, like, I don't have the negative experience with it from my youth or anything, you know. I was born and raised in Holland, so I think it's a really cool sound, actually.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. If you don't know, yeah. But like, maybe I can put a more like alternative song on now.
So there's also more alternative aside to Turbo.
I mean, yes. Now
everything is relative, of course.
Right, exactly. But now I think there is. I think 2 years ago or like something like that, I was in Serbia, and there's this amazing club in Belgrade, and it's called the Drugstore.
Okay.
But it's this amazing underground club, and like all the the art scene is like there, and it's and I was just on a random night there with my friends, and there was this DJ playing, and his name is Mangulica FM. And Mangulica is this special kind of pig that is like really expensive anyways. So he's also making a joke, obviously.
Right.
And his like whole thing is to like to remake or to like
Maybe you should.
oh yeah,
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Someone's talking.
I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
So his whole thing is that like he mixes turbo folk, but in a very much like techno electronica way.
Like super contemporary.
Yes, that
popular.
you can. He was playing in a fucking club. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a bomb. It was. I think that was. I was like, what? There is a different way, to turbo folk. Yeah.
It opened some
Definitely.
some doors.
So yeah,
Because turbo folk is also still going on,
Definitely,
and so
yeah.
also
Like
being
big time,
adapted to like more contemporary.
exactly.
ones.
I mean, the political situation is not much different. It's shit. So of course, when as I said, when the economic system and the lifestyle of normal people, it's a lot of like. The standard is quite low, the living standard. So like when people cannot buy something, when they cannot get somewhere, they cannot travel because they cannot go to maybe school, then they turn into this fantasy world which they're still provided. It's absolutely definitely out there.
Okay, and so this next song is gonna be a more alternative.
Yes.
Take to turbo folk.
Yes.
And what's the artist called? What's the name?
Mangulica FM.
Oh, so this is the
Exactly.
Okay, very curious. There we go. has something else in it.
Yes.
Interesting. Like the lyrics totally gone. The vocals.
Yeah, no vocals, just sound. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Okay, and so that was some good background, some good history. Now we know what turbo folk is and in what shapes and sizes it comes, and why. But like, what do you have to do with it?
So basically, for my project, I it's time when Spamantha came alive. So Spamantha Bones Spamantha Bones is basically this alternative turbo folk superstar / housewife / everything you need, right? She's perfect. She can cook. She's every woman. She's every woman. She's hot. She got it all. So this sounds just like another turbo folk superstar, but what's different with Spamantha is that she kind of lures you into that she's just like the other girls, but then she kind of twitches the perspective. So for example, what I did, I'm gonna go somewhere else and then I'm gonna come back to this.
Sure.
But just to
take us with you.
Yes. So basically, what she did, she created this instrument that is based on this really old traditional Serbian / Montenegrin / Albanian, you never know where it's exactly from, but that region, instrument that is called gusle. Okay. So gusle is basically, it's like a 1-string instrument, and it had this quite long neck, and then this very round body, and it's a very interesting instrument for Spamantha because it's an instrument that is just played by men. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Traditionally speaking.
Yes. Yeah. So it's just played by men. It goes from grandpa to son, grandpa to grandson to it's all kind of
a family
a family thing. Yeah, exactly. So that was one of the things that was so to say problematic, and then the other one was as well that not problematic, but it's traditionally made out of wood, and I think the string is made out of horsehair, and then you also have how do you call the sticky part, the stick part that you when you have a cello or you have a violin, you have the how do you call it?
What sticky part?
The bow. Is it bow? The stick. The stick that you... the
tool that you play it with. Oh my, I don't know.
Okay, so it has that part as well. So
right.
you kind of play it as a violin, but then you hold it in your lap.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a cello / guitar / violin vibe. But the sound is definitely nothing like violin or something like that. It's weird. But yeah, so what she did is first she took that instrument because she was okay, I am a woman, but I'm gonna break the tradition. I am gonna play gusle.
Yeah.
And then the second part was, I'm not gonna make it from wood or whatever. I'm gonna make it from kitchen utensils. Okay, so she made the instrument from pasta drainer or a salad bowl. It was metal salad bowl, and then there was a. How do you call the soup thing?
A soup label.
Yeah, that one.
A big soup spoon.
Yeah, a soup spoon, and then a lot of those a little fork, and then a sauce thing. And
because these are things that were in her hand reach.
Yeah.
As a
housewife,
woman,
right? As a woman,
housewife.
exactly. So she was working with what she had around her. So that was the second part of twitching it. and then so she made the instrument, and then she played, and she worked on a song, and she worked on a video, and she really actually like the middle of it all, like before she actually finished the instrument and finished what it was a process, of course. She also like played with a turbo folk, and then like mixing it, so something like what Mangulica did, because Mangulica is also taking, so the guy we previously heard, Mangulica FM, he also takes like usually songs or samples of song that already exist, but then he totally like crashes it, right? So like what Spamantha did, like somewhere in the middle, she took what exists, and then she like mixed different songs, layered, and then like it just played with the production. And then we, as the minor from Vedeka, had also a little like streaming period at Operator Radio. So that was super nice as well. It was definitely like a learning moment to reflect on your work and stuff.
Yeah, because I saw this video on your Instagram, because the Operator thing had a video too, and I was thinking about it. What was funny is that my first initial reaction was like, whoa, okay, so this video starts with Spamantha Bones sitting in a room, and then it continues by like you're showing kind of like webcam, like selfie videos of Spamantha. And my first initial feeling, reaction was like, oh, it's like an ego document, but then I thought, I felt like the whole point was you showing a woman making an ego document, like the point wasn't the ego document itself, but the like showing the process of the creation of this ego document, and also like what influences this. And I felt like by showing it, I felt like you deconstructed it, or like you showed that this exists. I don't know if that's like, this is vague, what I'm saying.
I mean, I do understand. I don't know if other people understand because I know my work a lot, so I totally can connect
like,
to what you're saying,
because you embody Spamantha. She has long blonde hair.
Yes.
She wears very, very extravagant makeup.
Yes.
What else are the attributes for Spamantha? Like physically speaking, what does she look like?
Yeah, like the clothes, like the whole. When you see her.
Yeah.
It's also like quite extreme, I would say. Maybe a bit of like, what is this? Like,
and she has cleavage.
Yeah,
I remember.
She has cleavage. But like a friend of mine, Senka, they said that Spamantha is uncanny valley. So like uncanny valley in a sense that, I don't know if you ever heard that term before.
Could you explain?
So I'm not also sure like completely. I never like googled it, so it just was from the conversation with Senka. But it's basically like when you see something and you think it's like, I don't know, you think it's kind of okay, you look at bread, you think it's bread, but then you look closer and it's not, it's I don't know, cake, something like that. And like something like weird, it looks normal but it's not, like something's weird about it type of thing, right? There's something, we don't know what it is, but it's like it's not how it should be type of thing, kind of.
It's not what you thought when you first saw it.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a bit what?
And this is Spamantha.
That's Spamantha. Yeah. So it's like you think but then you look closer and you're like, what?
Because what I was thinking about when I saw this video, this Operator video, from my academic background, I was immediately thinking about this way of working, like this artistic method, like working method, which is called over-identification or subversive affirmation. I'm sorry. which let me begin, like, historically speaking. This is a working method that originates from very politically repressive situation. So in the 60s, early 70s, this was super present in Eastern Bloc, like in Eastern countries like the Balkan. It's a working method where you work with the structure. Like, so for example, with Spamantha, you are one of the turbo folk stars. You embrace it, you know, you fully own it. And this thing of over identification is you own it, but like you own it so hard that the viewers, they must be like, whoa, what's going on here, you know? The viewers, they're like, whoa, this is a lot. But what is it then, you know? Like you make the people think about what's going on. When you over identify, like when you overdo it in that sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, I think so.
And so this working method, it came from a politically repressive situation, because when you embrace the whole like construct, and in that way deconstruct it and show that the construct is there. But if that's a way of deconstructing it and a way of activism almost.
And I think also, like, by doing that, you kind of like also show how maybe this is a big word, but how ridiculous the you know the structure actually is.
Yeah, like also the ridiculous characteristic of this structure, like because the structure is so normal to people, and usually you don't see it. But if someone takes this structure and overdoes it, then people start seeing maybe, whoa, what?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Definitely,
you know?
yeah. Actually, there's one guy now, you kind of like, it popped in my mind. There's one guy that actually, a lot of his work is about that. So basically, but like he's going like quite extreme, you know, like his name is Rambo Amadeus. So he's like this guy from, I think, Montenegro. And he's also like very like criticizing, you know, turbo folk and everything behind it.
And this is an artist?
Yes, so he's mainly a musician, but I feel what he does is actually quite like artistic, you know, like goes beyond music, in that sense. And like, you know, like there's this one video and like it's super ridiculous, you know. So he you know, like took this to totally like new level, you know, like also the video is like, like super ridiculous, but at the same time I didn't want to do that, you know, like I definitely, you know, observed his work, but I didn't want to do it because you know, there was something my teacher actually recently said, there's no like then like genuine, you know, like genuine feeling, or like you know, like he is, I don't know if I'm being wrong.
Is he making like a parody maybe?
Yes, I would say so actually. Thank you. Yes, definitely.
And this is also maybe not really your place of departure, because this is not fully a joke to you, because it's also used to be your youth, you know, it's what you grew up in, and it also represents your home in a way.
Yeah. So it's also not just my way of working, but I think also during this whole process of like Spamantha and like HouseWifeHouse, I had to always, like, with every step I had to reflect what I'm doing and not making it too ridiculous, you know, or like too funny or too this or too that.
Yeah, to find like a
fine balance. Yes, exactly. So and then afterwards, so she finished the instrument, you know, like, and
because so Spamantha, she was born from the making of this instrument. Like, was this the beginning for you?
it was kind of all mixed, like there
Yeah.
you know there is not like proper a beginning or an end, you know, like
Yeah.
it was all kind of came together as a puzzle, as you would say. So it kind of just naturally, intuitively came together. And so I with the you know alternative turbo folk and HouseWifeHouse. Why is it HouseWifeHouse? Because like I really wanted to mix these like two worlds of like this, you know, turbo folk superstars, which you know are the fancy ladies, so to say, and then you have the different side of women. So like I was also, you know, of course, like looking at the wider sense of like womanhood in Serbia and like being a woman. And then, you know, I noticed you have this like really, you have this kind of woman, and then on the other side, totally different, like different world, you have this like, it's called Stara Majka, and it's like this like usually old, but like like older, like women who are like doing all the work, cooking, you know, like everything, right? And like, you know, being housewives, taking care of the children, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you have that, and then you have this like super independent, so to say, right? Whatever, like
Like
preaching.
the more luxurious side.
Exactly, yeah. So I wanted to like kind of combine that. And that's how my like the in the end the video and the whole music like came
The whole persona.
Yes,
Yeah.
So like, you know, also in the video, did you watch it, the one, right, in the kitchen? In the kitchen. So like, you know, I was also I'm obsessed with the kitchen recently. So like everything's but also because she's a housewife, right, and like the kitchen utensils with the goosle, and like it's all kind of connected. And also I recorded field recordings, you know, in the kitchen when I was cleaning or I was cooking, and then I recorded that. And then in the end I was actually collaborating with Florian. Florip is his like producer name, and he's a music producer. And I actually wanted to, you know, deconstruct again, so like remake this old song. I mean, like, this is like layers on layers on layers, you know, like maybe people get confused, but whatever.
Well, I suggest also people after this airing to go to your, I mean, Instagram is very accessible.
I guess the Instagram is like the
not a secret promo.
No, but I guess like I put.
That's where I watched your videos. And then you can get, of course, a clear image. This is the one.
So my Instagram is Maya Mariah
So
with a Y.
Go.
But yeah.
So Florian.
Florian, and then you know, I had all the recordings, and like we were remaking the song that it's called, the song is called Little Cherry. It's like really old and traditional, and it's, you know, again the folk, so it's like about this girl and boy in the village, you know. And it's quite interesting because so it's about the boy and the girl in the village, and there's this cherry tree, and the cherry tree is so heavy because of so many cherries and there's nobody to take the cherries besides the girl and the boy. So I totally like crashed that, and I was like, no, there's nobody in the village to take the cherries because everybody left to Germany, you know, nobody in the village anymore, you know. And then I keep ranting, but there's still this like kind of nice turbo folk melody, but then I rant, you know. I'm like, no, everybody sold their fields for like a little money to go be a cleaner in I don't know,
It's
Switzerland.
like political rant.
Yeah. But like, you know, also I mean, like, it's so also, it was hard for me as well to like do this. This was not just like, I'm just gonna rant, you know, and like but like I'm part of this as well. I wasn't, you know, happy in the country, and I'm here now, you know what I mean?
You're not there to pick the cherry.
Yeah, so I'm also criticizing at the end myself, actually, you know?
Yeah, or
maybe.
Or
in a way,
your parents, or like how the way they went.
But also like the political system in which, like, you know, like it's really hard to do anything. So in the end, you kind of have to, you know, leave
Yeah.
if you want something bigger, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Or you don't want to do mafia, but you still want to kind of like live normally, you know?
Right.
But you don't want to be in the police or mafia or beep. Somebody's gonna censor me.
So
next thing you know, like Serbian police is on my back.
Oh, no.
No, just kidding.
So, but in the end, you managed to make a persona in Turbo Folk, the perfect woman, the perfect housewife. But you made it a little bit more realistic in a way.
Yeah. So I really like the part where, you know, as I mentioned before, that like actually, you know, they're preaching this, like, you know, that they're this, they're that, you know, that they're independent, that they make their own decisions, that, you know, they're special, they're this, right? They're like super feminist, whatever, like fake. But then I'm kind of like taking that back of like, how would it be, or like how would it look like if you would actually, you know, do what you say, you know, like, so if you would actually, let's say, okay, be a feminist and like talk about, but also like do it. So how if I would like listen to the song, and I was thinking like, if I would listen to the song and I would like not watch the video, but like close my eyes and like, you know, imagine, you know, then I would, you know, like what I think it's quite, you know, because they say they're really like that they're groundbreaking and they're like breaking all the whatever, right? Like really, and
you would see another, if you would close your eyes and listen to these songs and listen to the lyrics, we would totally see another video.
Yeah. So I, for example, what for me would be like super groundbreaking and like earth shaking in the Balkans, like what I would like to see would be, for example, to see a turbo folk singer in a, I don't know, mini and like whatever, like dress or so, and then with unshaved legs. I would love to see that, because that would be like, fuck you all, you know. That would be like, this is okay, now I'm independent, I'm making my own decisions and I'm my own boss because I decided to not, you know,
you're moving outside of the path.
So for or like, you know, something like that, or like if somebody, I don't know, I mean, like I'm giving a now example, but like if somebody would like I don't know, cut off their hair or something like quite, you know, extreme, because, you know, this is, then you're breaking kind of the construct that like you have, you know, and it's a big deal, like still the, you know, like you know, like the guys can look whatever they want to look like, right? Like whatever, but then the girls, you have to, you know, you have to look like this. You cannot have armpit hair, you cannot, because nobody's ever gonna love you, and you know, and like there's like so much stress, you know.
Always the focus on other people loving you instead of maybe
exactly. And like also, you know, the parents, I feel a lot of parents are not teaching, and you know, like, I mean, I love my mom and everything, but like, for example, talking about the hair, I mean, like in the Balkans we are hairy, okay, nothing wrong about it, a lot of people are hairy, it's a thing, okay. Like, I mean, we all have body hair, you know, and it's normal, and like, you know, it's a situation, you know, where like when I was, I don't know, 12, my mom took me to my first waxing.
Wow.
And like that, sorry, but that's traumatic.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, and you get taught a certain norm.
That you have to do that.
Yeah.
That you have to do that, or you're weirdo.
Because you don't know any better. When
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, you know, it's so. For example, for the video, like
for Spamantha's video.
Yes, for Spamantha's video. So Spamantha's in the kitchen, and it all kind of started chill, right? Like there is this music, da 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 da, and then she's in the kitchen just chilling, playing goosle, whatever, and then at some point, she stands up, and she cuts her long dress in a mini dress, you know, and she puts her headscarf away, and oh god, and she's like, you know, and then like, so it's kind of like this performance of, you know, letting go,
the
right? Transformation. Yeah, she changes into sneakers, you know, which is also quite like, what, sneakers, you know, heels, you need to wear heels, you know, and like, a lot of, you know, like mini stuff, that the details, and then, you know, and then And then when she cuts her dress, so for this specific performance video, like whatever music video, I didn't shave my legs because I was like, you know what, I'm also insecure about this myself, but this is the perfect way also for myself to open this up, for me as just
to also
girl.
create a new standard, maybe
exactly,
for yourself at least.
Because I wanted to see it, but it's scary because you never saw it, on media. So now you have to do it, but it's scary because like you never saw, right? So like and then in the end she kind of like goes really like zooms into the camera, like looks really into the camera like it's a mirror, and like you can see she didn't plug her eyebrows, like it's basically like a low-key unibrow type of
this
situation.
This is the uncanny valley thing.
Exactly. Like you think, and then you see the unibrow tricked you there. Like and then she like touches up her makeup, and then she's like, yeah, you know what, I'm done with this bullshit, I'm leaving as well, because I got like this money inherited from my grandma, whatever, and she's like, yeah, I'm out of here, bitches, and like, you I don't know, I said like a weird ass name, I just like, and you Petre, and you fuck you also, like I'm out, and she's like, and I'm like, what, because it started also like, oh yeah, she's cute in the kitchen, and then she's like,
so this is really a transformation that's taking place within the track, the song.
Yeah.
And is this a song that you're gonna play?
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious.
Okay.
I think also that's the last song for our session today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice.
And thanks to Warm for having us.
Yes,
also,
definitely.
Because these seats are super comfy.
Yeah,
I've been feeling comfortable.
We're having a great time.
Yeah, right. It's a party here. Thank you for listening. Also, definitely stay tuned because this last one is the cherry on the pie. Right?
It's a good one.
Okay, so what's the song called?
It's called Little Cherry
by Spamantha Bones.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Utilizzo, puća se se salomila, njiva se rasprodala, u Nemačku se otišlo, u kurac sve je otišlo. Rasprodala, u Nemačku se otišlo, u kurac sve je otišlo. Za male pare prodalo se, za bolje život otišlo se. Jezik više ne priča se, mozak već isključio se. Niko više ne voli se, stara juga raspala se. Babu smo sahranili, dedu smo naranili, dedu kuću mi spremio, za udaju pripremio. Njemu treba rađati i želje ugađati. Klaverka sam bila ja, noćima nisam spavala. Novi majice on uzeo je, on na šarmu spremila je. Samo za nje želim ja, a ne džabe prati stan.
Vidi dušo, 2020. je. Pa šta ti očekuješ da ti perem prljave gaće? Ajde odjebi, ja doh u beli svet da vozim motor i vežbam jogu, jer je samo od babe nasledila EU papire, honey. A za to što si ljubomorna saleta, možete i ti saleta trunete u ovoj rupi.